Is this gonna light on fire or something?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Anjali. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Flawless Fusion foundation from Mercier. I know this came out earlier this summer, but I finally was like, I'm interested in that. Let me try it out. And I'm going to kind of talk through my experience with you guys, give you a full rundown. This foundation is $48. It's available at Sephora. Comes in 24 shades. If you want to see me do a first impressions and review of this foundation, the Flawless Fusion Mercier foundation, then keep on watching and make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for more videos, for more reviews, for more fun shit, because I do tons of fun shit around here. Alright, let's get into the video. Does it look like I'm about to break my own neck? How about we do this like that? So this Flawless Fusion foundation has gotten me a little confused. I'm reading reviews on Sephora and it's great. And then I'm reading reviews actually on the Mercier website and it is rough. So on Sephora.com it has like a 4.5 or 4.4 or something like that. On the Mercier website it has 3 stars. And I'm like, what? But it seems like the biggest thing that's complained about is actually the shade range. It was actually also very confusing for me to pick out my foundation shade. They just like weren't in order. And it was like all guided by undertones and not necessarily also by shade. Like there were some in the 2 range that were darker than some in the 3 range. So that was confusing. Also, this foundation is $48. Oh god, I'm tired. I ain't even had coffee. So it's $48. It's a lot of fucking money, and I feel like you can also find really good foundations that are equal to or are less expensive. Let's prep my face. I only have moisturizer on, so I'm gonna prime and color correct, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm color corrected, and as I like to say about a great many things in my life, it gets worse before it gets better. I have my Mercier Flawless Fusion foundation in a free sample because of course I do. It's kind of my thing now. I'm in the shade 2N2 Linen. So even though I'm darker, this seemed more of a match for me than there was a couple of shades in the 3 range that seemed too light. And this is a neutral shade because of the N, so it's like the second darkest neutral shade. I don't know how the fuck this works, but like they gotta streamline it or do something. In the pot, it looks quite thick. It's like not really moving. So I've also read that it dries very quickly. So like to work in sections. Somebody said to use a sponge with it. I don't use sponges. I don't like a sponge. I don't need a sponge. So I'm just gonna go in with my M439 brush from Morphe. Okay, so this finish is gorgeous. I think the match isn't too bad. Let me take a break for a second and just like talk about this. So the finish is really beautiful. It makes my skin look really natural and smooth. It is drying down, and I can just tell right now that like the drier patches that are on my skin are not playing as well with it. I do also think that the foundation is running a little warm, even though it's a neutral. But it looked to me like when I was looking at the cool shades, it was way too pink. It's like, where do you go? What do you do? Where do you turn? In the night. Why is it night? Got a lot of scarring right here. Let's try and tackle that shit. So the texture of it is super thick, and then it feels very dry. Like when I'm patting it out, it like, you know how it feels, you know, because it's liquid, right? So it'll feel cooling. This doesn't feel cooling at all. It just feels like I'm brushing my face with nothing. It feels super dry to the touch. I will say one thing when I do the sample foundation test, I know that I use a lot less product than I normally would. So overall thoughts, this is very matte. It's matte, and it's not like a dry matte, but it's girl it matte. I think that the color match will be fine, but it's warm. It's warm for me. I'm like working so hard to run it down my neck just so that there's no notice, just like a light gradation. And even though I'm like packing 3 layers on it, all the spots and things that I have here are really well concealed. Even just with one coat, and I do mean the redness part of it. I mean, like, you can still see the bumpiness. Okay, so big things that I noticed for, especially with matte foundations, is I wait for it to bunch up around my nose. It's not doing that really on either side. This side is always much worse. And then my chin, and it's not happening on my chin, and that never happens. Like, everything always bunches up in little weird things in my chin. My little very round chin. It's sitting better on this side of my face. It's just better on this side. I don't know why. And maybe it's because I put more coats on there. But once you put this down, man, this is dry. I'm almost nervous to set it with anything. I might dust it with translucent powder. But overall, I'm happy with it. I'm excited to see how other products are going to lay on top of it. But overall, this looks pretty good. Okay, let me go put on other makeup. I finished up my makeup, and I'm feeling optimistic about this foundation. It almost feels like it is dry so much that my face almost feels a little tight, and I'm not sure if that's because of my brow gel or what, but it is very dry without being crusty looking. So in a way, it feels like super secure. I just dusted it with a light little bit of translucent powder, my Coty Airspun powder. And that's what I also use to set my under eyes and everything like that. I will say, I think the most remarkable thing was that my under eye concealer like blended like a dream. Like, I've been actually a little bit down on my ColourPop concealer that I've been using. It always looks a little chalky to me. On this foundation, it did not look like that, let me tell you. It looked so good. I was able to build it up. I hadn't had that happen before. So that was really good for me. I think powder products didn't blend as strongly as I'd like it wasn't as pigmented as usual. Like my contour, I feel like I put on a lot more than usual. My bronzer, my highlight is definitely not as poppin' as usual, and I think that comes from the dryness of the foundation. It almost is like putting it on a piece of paper. It'll just flake off. I don't know that it's worth the price. It's $48, and I think you can find comparable, or not necessarily comparable, but good foundation that's even $10 less. I mean, my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation is $36 or $36, and then the Fenty Beauty foundation is $34. So if you're rolling around in that matte kind of range, those are 2 really good foundations. So that has been my review. I guess I would say it's Anjali approved, but not Anjali recommended. So if you got the foundation, good for you. You're gonna have a good time. I would say oily skin would probably work better with this, but it's not anti-dry skin. The shade range is not, there's 24 shades, but can you find your shade? It's a little warmness, you know? So be wary of that. Like, definitely get a sample beforehand just so you can color match yourself really well. You know, the lights and stuff aren't always great. The person that's doing a shade match for you doesn't always know what they're doing. So you take control of your own destiny, girl. That's been my review of the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. I was in the shade 2N2 Linen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.